What's his name again? What's the iPad?
Beric Dondarrion.
Beric Dondarrion. That's me. Guys, you guys have been asking what happens when we don't have Game of Thrones. We act like Game of Thrones, guys, in our intro. So here, you're welcome. We're also talking about Rellik today on the show. It's a BBC One drama that's apparently going to make its way to the States on Cinemax because obviously David's here, and we had to review a British show, and this is the one he picked. And I got to tell you, it's awesome, and it's also stars this guy, Beric Dondarrion. Is that right?
No, Dondarrion.
Beric
Dondarrion.
Boom shakalaka. Guys, I'm Josh Macuga here, live 9 a.m. PST on Collider Video. Real quick before I introduce who else is here, usually on a Sassy Tuesday, correct? It's a Sassy Tuesday? Whoops, I did that again, second day in a row. We are moving next week back to 11 a.m. PST. This 2-week test of 9 a.m. PST and Movie Talk at 7 a.m. PST. Breaking news. Hit it. Thanks, Adam. We need a little scroll at the bottom. Josh, very happy to have gotten an extra hour of sleep. Moving back to 11 a.m. I think you guys all really enjoyed 11 a.m. So Movie Talk will be 9 a.m. PST. TV Talk will be 11 a.m. PST. Again, we're live. We're going to bring you all that fresh TV goodness, but we're back at 11 a.m. So set your Google calendars, reset them, reset your subscription notice, tell your bosses, tell your parents, tell your friends, tell your significant others. We're back at 11 a.m. PST. If you do not join us at 11 a.m. PST, I will find you and I will rip your computer out of the wall and I will program it to 11 and then plug it back in. Don't worry, I won't steal your computer. All right, here on a Sassy Tuesday, after the longest intro possible, she's back, she's lovely, she's our mother of ginger dragons. It's Grace Hancock.
You always give me all the nice little warm fuzzies with my little intro. I'm like, ah. Look, guys, I have 2 cups of coffee here. You're in such good hands. This is going to be the Sassiest Tuesday. Tweet me your Twitter questions at Mrs. Graceface. Hashtag Collider TV Talk. Boom!
I also have to thank my lovely panelists here because they're always so nice. I mean, I always say like, guys, would you mind watching this show that I think you might enjoy? You know, I have to kind of just nudge it in. We have a busy TV schedule, so I'm so happy that they decided to watch Rellik, and I'm excited to talk about it today.
But apparently, Captain Watermelon, aka David Griffin, whoop whoop, Captain Watermelon. Spoiler alert. David, obviously, we know you love British TV, and usually you shove that little recommendation in right at the right time. But you also sent us a nice article yesterday about that this fall may be the worst fall TV in the last 10 years
in America.
In America. So maybe we need to broaden our horizons. Maybe we need to hit a little British TV. Maybe we hit Indian TV. Maybe we hit South American TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to find our next.
Expand our horizons a little bit.
Because we're talking the Preacher finale today, and we're all just glad Preacher's kind of over. We're talking, CBS developing a show from Dr. Oz. We need something here, people. And I think that David is just the man to bring us that.
I know. I mean, European television is so damn good. It is so well done. I'm not going to say that I don't always get like a little mini panic attack when I see your name pop up on my phone because I'm like, that's another hour out of my day. But it was a great show. When we get to
anxiety, like when she's like text from David Griffin, she's like,
I know, literally, I'm like, when I see, I'm like, oh God. I'm like, no, David, no. I can't watch every show in the whole world every day.
Like, no. Okay.
I know, and then I'm like, I have a mini freak out, and then I'm like, thanks, David, emoji.
But we'll get into that. Rellik. We're going to talk Preacher
longest
finale.
intro ever.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. We do what we want here on TV Talk.
We're just so excited to get to CBS developing a show.
Exactly. David and I wore our finest pastels here for a Sassy Tuesday, and Grace wore her.
Oh, I don't own pastels. I don't think I actually own any colors, actually.
Really?
Actually, no, that's a lie. I actually bought a green shirt for this show.
Yeah,
I haven't worn it yet. It has the tags on it.
I don't own any colors either. Just pink, light blue, bright orange, mustache. You get it.
I wish you could just lighten up.
Just lighten up, just a bit.
Nice. I see.
All right, what's first?
See what I did there?
What's first?
All right, so Dr. Oz and his wife Lisa are developing a series for CBS that will explore the intersection of faith and medicine based on the best-selling book Miracles We Have Seen by Dr. Harley A. Rothbart. So the show is going to follow 2 surgeons.
That's a rough last name.
Yeah.
Rothbart.
Oh, no, and I Googled it several times to make sure it wasn't a typo. It's Rothbart. I'm not saying the pronunciation's on point, but that's the spelling. It looks phonetic to me. So it's going to follow 2 surgeons.
What if it was
one who's like...
Dr. Rothbart. I think it's Rothbart.
I wanted it to be Rothbart, like the villain from The Swan Princess, but it's not.
Okay.
But anyway, so it's 2 surgeons. One's like, no, science. And the other one's like, but be open-minded.
Okay, here's the thing. I threw this in there because we didn't have a lot of news. Okay. And the reason why I threw it in there, and Adam's back there laughing. David was shaking his head the entire time Grace was reading this. God damn it!
I'm kind of like internally shaking my head as I
thing.
read my own news.
If you ever used to watch The Soup, The Soup was an amazing show that they, for whatever reason, canceled because E would much rather focus on the Kardashians than actual comedy television. But they would always make fun of Dr. Oz because Dr. Oz would have bits on his show. He's like, you know when you poop and it comes out a little hard, and like they would show it, right? So Dr. Oz isn't afraid to tackle the funny shit. What I want to see, because I have a couple friends that are doctors, no big deal, and your dad's a doctor, right? Doctors always have the coolest effing stories. And what I wish this was like, so it was a random Tuesday and a guy came in with a rake up his butt. And we're like, how did that happen? And then the whole episode is like, how do we get the rake out of his butt? Because it is splintered and we don't want to rip his butthole out, right? But it doesn't have to all be butt stuff. I'm just saying, like, there is a lot of funny,
what sells.
Right? Like comedy stories.
Incest.
Scrubs always had it. Little incest, little rake butts. What I'm saying is that we could really get a cool medical show about like real stories of the ER. Now I know there's like those the ones that are like real stories of the ER, but actual actors a la Black Mirror reenacting funny stuff that has happened in the hospital.
Not like Sex Sent Me to the ER, where it's like these horrible, horrible actors who are like, ugh, like real shit, like Black Mirror.
I want
rakes.
You know, like a Gwendolyn Christie in Real Stories of the ER, and she's like this well-to-do doctor that's like, this son of a bitch came in with another rake up his butt. That's the too many rakes up too many butts. Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing the rake up the butt
One
thing.
rake, shame on me.
It's because we're about to talk about Preacher, and there's a lot of things in the butt in Preacher. There's a lot of butt stuff in Preacher.
Now, as a son of a doctor, don't you think like a cool doctor show would be something?
I mean, like,
I thought you were going to say, like, as a son of a bitch, like, what do you think? I was like, damn, Josh, okay.
No, I mean, like, I love my dad. I mean, he's, you know, an orthopedic surgeon. You know, he's done sports medicine. You know, he got to, like, work on Marcus Camby and some other, like, basketball players. So, like, that's cool. But it's like, I can just see what the show's going to be. I can see the trailer. I can already see the trailer in my head.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to call him Dr. Jim. Like, Dr. Jim, the science says here that we have to do A and B and take care of the bone here and put it in here. It's going to work. It's like, no, man, you got to have faith. You got to believe there's something else at work here besides just medicine, man. You got to believe. It's going to be crying. It's so cliche. It's like, I've seen this 100 times.
Doctors. He's like, nah, bruh, you got to be open-minded.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they'll probably be like modern, they'll be young, be like, hey, bruh, you know, probably say bruh a lot.
Hey, nurse,
you know,
hold my beer. I got this.
I just don't want to see this. It's just, it's always detective procedurals or medicine in America.
Yeah.
Right,
I know they do it in the UK too, but it's better over there. They do it differently.
Yeah, true.
I don't want to see 22 episodes of like, is it faith or is it science? Like, what is it? It's like, I can just see this in my head.
And listen, I always say this. I've been to a bunch of hospitals. Between the age of like 9 and 13, I was always injured. Stitches, bones, everything. Hospitals are terrible. I just took Mark Ellis to a hospital, right?
I heard
My
about
dad
that.
used to dump me off, not dump me, but I mean, he would have to go make his rounds and he would leave me with the nurses. I hated the smell. I hated being there. It just smells like no one wants to, unless you're working there.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a hospital because if you're in there, something's wrong with you. And so you don't want to be in there.
All the doctors walking around aren't like sexy, and the nurses aren't sexy, and everybody's like,
no, they're totally grouchy bastards.
Yes.
They're like, just here's a prescription, and I'm
outside,
like, no. Like
they're telling people not to smoke cigarettes, and they go outside just huffing.
I know, and
the
they're like
cafeteria
super
food's not
overweight.
great. Yeah. My dad would be like, hey, we're gonna go eat in the cafeteria.
That's
I was like,
why we need the real hospital funny stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, I know Scrubs was fun, but they didn't. I want real reenactments with real actors based on real stories. Because some doctor friends of mine, I could sit and listen to them tell doctor stories all day long.
I'd rather just have, because Dr. Oz is a super charismatic guy.
I know.
I'd rather just listen to Dr. Oz do like a documentary on his life. I'd watch that over some like this, what he's doing here. I'd rather just see Dr. Oz.
The only thing that gets me slightly excited about this is that I'm like a big, like I'm not a big fan of Western medicine at all. Like I don't like doctors. I'm very rude to doctors when I go to hospitals.
If my dad comes to visit, can you please not be rude to him?
I mean, I'll do as long as I'm not there like to see, like when I'm like in the hospital, like I just have an I hate it. I hate it all.
Boom.
So Dr. Oz has a lot of alternative things that he's recommends that are effective, and that I like because I'm all about that Eastern like medicine. So that's like that's the only thing I'm excited about is to see like this doctor be like, no, acupressure, and then have him be right, and I'll be like, I told you all.
That would be a good show. Have Dr. Oz travel the world and study other ways of doing medicine.
Like Andrew Zimmer, Bizarre Foods, but Bizarre Doctors.
Or Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations.
Yes.
Make it like an Anthony Bourdain show, but about medicine. I'd watch that. That I'll watch. I will watch that.
I love that this news story basically just turned into us having like 10
like
better
we're pitching
pitches.
ideas for Dr. Oz for his next show.
This is what you're getting out of TV Talk, guys. You're getting pitches. You're getting Pink shirts, getting it all. All right, Grace, what's next?
All right, so next, the South Park writers have announced that they are planning to tackle white nationalists in season 21's premiere.
Here's the thing. The reason I put this in here, this was on every website yesterday, and I mean, listen, South Park, 21 seasons, they're doing something right.
Right.
They're diehard South Park fans. I've since like maybe season 2 or 3, I have never really watched South Park consistently. I've always found it funny. I mean, you told me about the Member Berries episode, so I went and watched it last year, and I'll catch episodes here and there. I think at this point there's so many characters and there's so much stuff going on in South Park that I'm so far behind that I'll never catch up. Here's the thing. South Park, they tackle everything. They go at everything in a very creative and interesting way. Sometimes they do it right. Sometimes they do it very, very wrong. Right? And I get jokes. I get jokes. I tell jokes. Totally. There's some things that maybe you just stay away from. And a national tragedy where a man drove a car into a crowd of people, I think you may want to just leave that. And I understand that, like, this is something that a left-leaning person can easily attack. And that's fine. And they should. These people, I'm not even going to get into politics. What I will say is that there are tragedies that maybe South Park could just stay away from. Like, don't do 9/11, right?
Right.
They should have never done that 9/11 episode, right? That was just stupid. I don't know if you tackle something like this. I don't even know, like, why. Like, it's sort of like when a comedian's like, every comedian should have a good rape joke. No. Why? You don't. Yeah. You can tell jokes about so much other shit that doing this. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on it.
I mean, you both like turned to me very dramatically. I mean, yeah, I agreed. Like, I don't like Louis C.K. has a lot of really inappropriate jokes that I'll laugh at, but there's even stuff that he says that I'm like, oh, I'm uncomfortable.
Yes.
This just feels way too soon. I don't want to watch a cartoon talking about this in this climate right now when so many really rough things are going on. Like, that's not entertainment to me at this point. I don't know that this particular subject would ever really be entertainment for me at any point, regardless of what's happening right now. So yeah, I have to give this kind of like a hard pass, but I don't know, maybe they're going to do it really well. I don't know how you could, but I'm not saying, oh, that's bad. I'm like, I don't know, maybe they nail it, but I'm really not interested to see it.
I mean, comedy is supposed to be that place where you can talk about anything, supposedly, if you do it right. I mean, Chris Rock, I don't remember if it was Bigger and Blacker, one of his skits, he talked about Columbine. Now, he didn't make fun of Columbine. He wasn't disrespectful to the victims of Columbine, but I think he made a joke something about like him talking to kids in school. And he's like, white kids scare me. Like, I'm not going to go to school and talk to the kids. I'm going to get shot if I go to the school and talk to kids. Now, he wasn't making fun of Columbine, but he was addressing the situation in a way that made people laugh, but also didn't disrespect the people who had lost family members in that horrible tragedy. So I'm glad I'm not a comedian because I don't know how I would touch something like that. Josh, I'd be like you. I'd stay away from it. I would definitely stay away from it.
I mean, like I always kind of say, and whatever, it's way easier to love somebody than it is to hate them.
Yeah.
You know? And so say what you want and be whatever you want. Just, like, you know, there are some things in comedy. It's like there are people that are still mourning a terrible, terrible tragedy. And you're South Park trying to, like, make fun of the whole situation. Just doesn't, I don't know.
It's not quite the time for, like, levity yet. How about that, South Park?
Yeah. Like Book of Mormon, hysterical. But Mormonism's 300 years old. And like, right? Like, not too soon.
Like, give it a minute.
This is a little too soon.
Right.
Joe Smith's been around for a long time.
Yeah. All right.
Joe Smith.
What's next, Grace?
All right. So last night, much to
said like the true seminarian, Joe Smith's been a while.
It's been a few years.
Yes. But Preacher season finale aired last night on AMC. I have to say, slow clap. Oh, thank you.
We did it. Even Adam's
slow clapping.
Good Lord. We made it, guys. This may have been one of the most difficult seasons of television ever had to watch.
I mean, I'm not going to say it felt like Frodo trying to get to Mordor, but it felt a lot like Frodo trying to get to Mordor.
But Frodo was moving, though. Frodo wasn't in the same apartment the whole time. I mean, if Frodo had an apartment in Nolans just chilling, I'd be like, bruh, hey, you got to get to Mordor, man. You got to get to that ring. But he was moving, man. Frodo was... Dun, 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 dun.
There's one whole
movie.
I
adore everything about you right now.
One whole movie in an apartment in New Orleans is basically what we just did. If Preacher is 3 seasons and 3 movies of Lord of the Rings, we just spent all of 2 towers in New Orleans in a New Orleans apartment.
Frodo was putting in some miles.
I love the Lord of the Rings references. We're killing it.
I mean, Samwise and them. Samwise, he would have gotten on Frodo. If he's like, Frodo, you're like, we got to keep moving, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Preacher needs. We
Yes.
need a
We need a
Samwise.
Samwise
We need
Gamgee.
somebody who's going to be like, we're boring. Let's get this shit done.
Right.
I told you my favorite story throughout this whole series was, or sorry, this whole season was a story in hell. I loved Arseface with Hitler, and I like their relationship. I like how they try to get out of hell, like what that's going to mean for next season. Like, for some reason, that just really interested me.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was like, I don't really care what happens.
And the fact that they got Hitler out of hell, and now Hitler's on the loose, and like
With a nice new coat,
with
nice new
a-
jacket.
with a new
little
jacket.
big, it's a little big.
It's a little big.
I don't know what this show is about.
Yeah.
Like he's the
does the
Messiah,
show
but
know what
now,
it's about?
No, and now his voice thing isn't working.
Yeah, and then
They never even explained it because he like got punched in the throat or something. But I don't know. I don't know what I watched this season.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, there's this Grail Institute, and they're evil, so we're supposed to think that everybody's evil. And then there's this soul van, and I don't know what happened to the Saint of all killers. It's just
and there was a lot of butt stuff.
a lot of butt stuff. Spoiler alert, I guess, whatever. They kill Tulip, or did they? They take him to the chicken lady. It's the beginning of the episode. Again, I don't care about season 3. I might not watch season 3, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay in ditching the show.
Yeah,
There's
it's funny-
way
it's
more
one-
better shows.
It's
out
one of those
Yeah,
shows,
yeah, yeah.
like, I mean, we love you fans out there because you just give us so much feedback and you tell us what new shows to check out and what you would like us to talk about. But I don't see any conversations about Preacher. No one's like bugging us on Twitter about like Preacher. Hey,
Oh,
what do you
yeah,
think of
no,
Preacher? Like,
I
what do you
don't
think of the season? No one's,
either.
even when it airs,
Yeah.
no one's talking about it.
All right, so are we as a pact, as a family here? Preacher season 3. Let's just pass.
I feel like
Oh
I'm
my God,
kinda
can I
done with
vote
it,
twice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, done. I mean, listen, I'll go to Comic-Con if they do another Preacher panel and ask Ruth Nega about rutabagas.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch the show.
Yeah, I mean, this episode, and again, I said this off air. It may have been that my emotions were colored a bit, knowing it was the last one I had to watch this season. But I felt like actually this episode was pretty well paced. I cared about more of the stories in this episode than I did in others, just because the stakes were finally existent.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh shit, it's the finale, something should happen. And I was like, thank you.
Right.
I really hated that he just put the Chihuahua out of the car like a jerk.
Yeah, you don't leave dogs, especially in New Orleans. What's that dog going to do?
No, he's gonna go eat bad things from the street.
Drinking huge ass beers to go?
And why? What was the whole point of Dennis if he was just gonna, spoiler alert, just like push him out on the little terrace and be like, "See ya, bro."
We
Like,
were supposed to have like a little moment of maybe the only point of Dennis was that not all vampires are going to be like
Cassidy.
Like Cass. That if you
Yeah.
get bit, you're going to be chasing down people trying to bite him or eat him or whatever.
Dude, like, killed his own son, though. Like, that's pretty dark.
It's dark.
I know he didn't raise him.
it was
but
dark.
Still, that's
He's like
that's your
screaming
kid.
like Papa. I was
Yeah,
like,
you just
okay.
Killed your own son. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's too early in the morning for that.
Listen, guys, I think as a people, we know that Preacher's over. And I'm going full Barack Obama. Preacher's over. And we can move on as a people. It's done. It's done. Let's move on.
Yay.
Grace, what's
Yay.
next?
Obama, thank you for that.
Well, not necessarily on a lighter note, but on a better note, BBC's very gritty drama Rellik had its series premiere last night on BBC One, starring our favorite flame sword wielding actor Richard Dormer.
Whoop, whoop.
Look at that face.
Who always has, like, I wonder if in real life does he have two healthy eyes?
I don't know.
I'm looking at his
There's always
IMDb
something
picture,
going
and he's a
on.
handsome man.
He's a handsome man.
But in
Oh, well,
he's
now
a
I wanna
handsome
look.
man. But in Game of Thrones and in this show, he's looking rough. Boys, seen better days.
They really don't. I mean,
They don't like him to look good.
I'll tell you what. They
Hey,
do not
ladies
do him
love that
up.
rugged thing. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Like,
doing all right in the show.
I've been trying to do
This is
the
the
rugged.
lady he's messing around with is not bad.
All
I
I've ever wanted
know.
to
That
do.
car scene was like,
Jeez.
woo. I was like, get it, son.
Get it, son? Now, this show is told. I
Right.
really enjoyed it.
Right.
The show is told backwards,
Me too.
sort of memento.
killer backwards.
Memento.
Relic.
Memento.
Memento, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And killer, like you said, killer backwards,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. And you see it on the windows in that first
Yeah.
scene when she goes to like wash the
Mm-hmm.
windows down. Who told you about the show? Two, you said it's getting picked up by Cinemax? at
Yeah,
some
so
point?
I heard in the States that Cinemax is going
I
to
read
air
that.
this show eventually. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I mean, it's all you. It's the fans. You guys reach out to me. I follow like Channel 4, ITV, and BBC on Twitter, but I missed a lot of the updates. I know BBC has tons of dramas coming out.
Now, do they follow you on Twitter?
They do not
That's-
follow me. I
that
don't really
is
understand
bullshit.
that. I don't understand why they don't follow me. I'm their biggest fan. But anyway, if somebody said, David, you got to
Truly.
watch this, and they tagged me with that trailer, and I tagged you. I said, we know you get Josh Macuga to watch it.
Okay.
And Grace and Josh both. You know, Grace probably yelled at her phone for a little while, but she watched it, and I appreciate that because it's really good.
was internal.
Somebody said it's going to be like Memento, and as
Right.
soon as I watched it, I'm like, yeah, it's like True Detective meets Memento. Everything's told backwards, so you see what happens at the end. They either find or not find the guy who's responsible, he's burning people with acid.
Yes.
And then they backtrack. So the next 6 episodes are going to be us trying to figure out, or 5 episodes after
Right.
this, who did it, who done it, you know, what's going on. But we don't really know yet. It's kind of confusing. Grace, I loved it, but I know it is a little tough to follow at times.
Well, I was also kind of like cremated in to finish it with all the other shows. So I think that if I had been more in a relaxed state of mind, I think I totally would have been on board. Because this is absolutely my jam, like crime, gritty, like angsty, like scars. I was like totally into it.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit like, I was like, oh, so is he married? Because sometimes I wasn't sure because I didn't know the premise. I didn't know if the time lapses, like the going back, like recycling. I didn't know how far back we were going.
So I was
like,
going back
oh,
and
is this
back
before
and
he
back
was
and back.
divorced?
Yeah.
And
Like,
his daughter's the
but
White
then it
Princess.
says like a few hours.
No. The White Princess, she's on Dr. Foster right now. Jodie Comer's looking fine.
The girl that is playing his daughter was in that one of those Queen shows.
Oh, she might have been in there. Oh, no, but she wasn't the White Princess.
Okay,
the White
okay,
Princess
got
is
it.
in another BB show right now.
Got it.
Right. But
Yeah.
But so he is married.
He's married.
He is married, yeah.
And they're obviously like at odds, but they're not separated. He lives
No.
there.
Lives there.
And then he's like,
Well, but it seems like
I think
don't
English
know,
people
but-
are a little more accepting of affairs.
And it seems
'cause,
like-
it's
it seems like-
always dark.
yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
raining. I totally understand it.
it's kind of like Marcella-y, right?
Oh, it's like a lot more Marcella.
Very Marcella.
That actress is super busy too. She's gonna be
love
in the
her.
Girlfriend Experience, the next Girlfriend Experience season. But no, I think the wife's aware
That's
of
my
what's
happy
going on. It
sound.
seemed like there was a scene where she's aware. So yeah, we don't really know much of what's going on. Again, it's a big murder mystery that starts from the time they catch the killer and they back up. So they're gonna keep backing up and backing up and backing up until I guess everything's resolved, or maybe it's not resolved. I'm in
Yeah.
it though. I like it. It's only 6 episodes.
Boom.
Yeah,
BBC
no, I
doing
liked
it
it
right.
a lot.
Yeah.
Doing it right.
Yeah, I really liked it. I will
Relic,
definitely be
giving me
tuning.
a solid high for Relic.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did not
yeah,
know
watch
that was
Rellik.
killer backwards. I was like, oh.
And if you're in the States, obviously, you know, it's going to come to Cinemax, so you can watch it on Cinemax eventually.
Yeah. Or you can just be friends with David Griffin. And
Yeah, well, you can come stay at my flat in London, and we'll hang out and, you know, watch some TV together. Yeah.
Speaking of flats in London, Grace, are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. It's a Great British Breakdown.
Great British
with
Breakdown.
David Griffin.
Okay, so I want to talk about a show that I think I discovered this on my own, or maybe one of the fans reached out to me, but I didn't realize that J.K. Rowling has a show on BBC One.
Rolling.
Is it Rolling?
I thought it was
Jake-
I
Rowling.
thought it was Rowling. Yeah, Rowling or Rowling, isn't it?
Cody, help.
Cody?
You say
Rowling.
Rowling.
See, that's what I said.
Boom.
So I'm right. Thanks, Cody.
Rowling. J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling.
That sounds wrong. Sounds like somebody from like Boston would talk. Anyway, so J.K. Rowling, from, you know, obviously famed from the Harry
Wicked
Potter.
J.K. Rowling.
Wicked J.K. Rowling, man. I don't know. I went like,
Jamaican.
I went Jamaican there. I don't know what I'm doing.
Interesting. Okay.
This is a Great British Breakdown. I've already ruined it.
Jamaica, though, a former British colony. So there
That's
you go.
true. Yeah.
I totally follow that logic.
Okay, so moving on. We are talking about a show called Strike, the Cuckoo's Calling. Right there. That is Tom Burke. For those of you who ever watched the Musketeers series on BBC, he was D'Artagnan. You get that, Josh? That's French. He was D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan. Okay.
And he's a very good actor. He's got an interesting little scar on the top of his lip there, so he's a very interesting actor, very talented actor.
Scars make you interesting, guys.
It's
Make
true.
sure.
It does.
I love lips. It's like
the
Joaquin
dudes-
Phoenix. I want to
seriously.
kiss his mouth.
I mean, the guy on Killer or Relic,
Relic.
dude has acid poured on his face. He's still getting the hottest girls on TV.
Listen, I've been trying to act
I need to get me a scar.
real, like,
I'm just like,
rugged. Give me
Right.
scars, like whatever. And everybody's like, he's just so happy. I'm like, God damn it.
All right, so
Yeah.
I tell you what the
But
show
women
is.
love
So,
it.
so,
Strike.
so
Sorry,
very quickly,
sorry.
Strike is so for those of you new Amazon Prime, you know the TV series Bosch, Michael Connolly's Los Angeles-based crime novels.
Great.
It's basically like that. So J.K. Rowling has her own detective series. He's a PI. His name's Strike. His last name's Strike, and he has his partner, who's played by Holiday Granger, who is one of my biggest crushes in Hollywood. She is pretty good. She's a very beautiful woman. That's his partner, and it's very like basic, like whodunit. There's this model who supposedly falls from the roof of her, or from the balcony, and she's dead. Now is there foul play involved? He's hired to investigate that, and that's where the story takes place. So I guess J.K. has said that she wants to write at least 10 more books. There's already 3 out right now, so I'm sure this is going to get renewed. They'll probably just, like Bosch, they'll make season after season based off the different Strike novels. And it's a good first episode.
How do
I
these
loved
people
it.
write all this stuff? Like, I have trouble writing thank you notes. And these people are writing.
You gotta write, man. You gotta be committed.
Books.
Writing books, man. You gotta be committed. So
Jesus.
I like it. It's a good series. It's not as dark as Relic that we just talked about. It's a little bit more like a Sherlock feel to it. You know, there's some levity, there's some humor. So I mean, you could watch this if you're a younger person, maybe like 12 or 13. I wouldn't go too young.
Okay.
I just had this great mental image of Josh being like, thanks. Fuck, now what?
I tried, David. You know, I
Yeah.
tried.
But, yeah.
Strike. So can we get Strike here?
No,
Not yet.
no.
Okay.
You have to be in London to watch that.
Got it. All right. Well, when Strike comes here,
It
'cause
will. I'm
it's
sure
JK
somebody will pick it
it's
up.
J.K. Rowling, and
Yeah.
you know,
Rowling.
Rolling.
Rolling.
All right.
We may never know.
Who knows?
Oh,
let's
boy.
do let's do some Twitter questions. Grace, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to combine two of them.
Oh,
Ooh, a twofer.
Who?
the old back-to-back little
So
double
I would
team.
like to know who our friend Krizia wants to know who our favorite showrunners are right now.
Okay.
But then another one of our friends, Chris, wants to know who we think the most overrated showrunners are right now.
Got
so
it.
who are your guys' favorites? Who do you think is
Favorite
overrated?
Overrated Shonda Rhimes. Favorite Weiss and Benioff. With
Ooh, yeah,
with a
yeah,
close
yeah.
David Simon in there.
John, great answers. Damn. Okay.
Favorite, probably Damon Lindelof after Leftovers,
Ooh,
and he did a
good
great
call.
job with Lost. I can't wait to see what what he's gonna do with his next series. Overrated? Man, I don't know. I see Shonda's good at what she does though. Like Shonda
Right, like, it
does
may
what
not
she
be your
does
taste.
well. It's
Sure.
not really my taste,
Every
but she
woman
does
in
what
my
she does
life
well.
is going to yell at me for saying Shonda Rhimes, but I'm.
Can I say Chuck Lorre? Is that she a showrunner?
Yes,
Yeah,
say
Chuck
Chuck
Lorre.
Lorre.
Oh,
Chuck
yeah.
Lorre. Yeah, Chuck Lorre. I don't like his shows.
Disjointed
Yeah, yeah,
was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Big Bang Theory.
so
Two and a
mad
Half
about
Men. I just
No, done. I'm done with
But
that.
again, he's good at what he does. The dude makes bank. He gets viewers. He does what he does. He's like a Michael Bay.
I gotta say, there was a really fun article I read about is Netflix like enabling Chuck Lorre?
I saw that
He's like, here's
too.
a ton of money. Do what you
Stop
want.
And then we were all kind of
Yeah.
like, are they?
Hey, you stop. Do you have any, Grace?
I don't know who I would say that's like overrated. Shonda Rhimes actually gave me my very first job,
Oh,
so
sorry.
I would never. No, I'm not offended, but I'm not. I wouldn't say her like how
I mean, she
to get away
works.
with murder. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
damn. And I'm really excited for her to come to Netflix actually to like kind of like get some
Unleash.
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for my favorite, I have to say, just for my own personal taste, probably Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk, just
Yes.
because that's like my jam. And I mean,
They've knocked it out of the park
OJ,
lately.
American Horror Story, like all that stuff is totally right up my alley.
You
so
forget
that's
about
what I
like
gotta
Vince
go with.
Gilligan.
Yeah.
From Breaking Bad.
Better
and
Call
Better
Yeah,
Call
yeah, yeah.
Saul.
Yeah.
Let's see if he does something different.
Yeah, no, I want to
outside.
see him get out of that world.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Twitter questions, hashtag Collider TV Talk. Thank you guys for always sending in such good ones, some bad ones, or just insulting us.
I mean, somebody
either way-
wanted to know what we think about midday naps.
I love
I
'em.
say yay, of
I'm
course.
not a napper. I can't nap.
What?
Yeah, I haven't
I'm not
napped.
a good napper,
Even
but
in
I'm
preschool, I
supportive
wasn't
of them.
napping. Yeah, I admire people who can nap.
Nothing
I
like-
wish I could nap.
Nothing like throwing on like a CSI or a Law and Order and just falling asleep in the middle of the afternoon. The baritones of Ice-T being confused by crimes as a police officer. All right, let's do a pick of the day. If you could pick any Game of Thrones character to perform at a child's birthday, who would it be? Mine's easy.
The
Hound.
The
Just
Hound.
have
Yeah,
the
I was
Hound
gonna
come
say
in.
the Hound. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The Hound.
Shut
yeah.
up, kids.
Shut up, kids. Yeah, the Hound. It'd be funny.
That's pretty great.
I bet you Beric Dondarrion,
Beric Dondarrion.
if he were still with us,
Flame sword.
he would have some good
The
stories.
flame
to
sword
tell.
would be a great hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go for the obvious, like obviously Daenerys because she has dragons. Like kids love
think she's very
dragons. That's a
personable,
common.
though.
That's a very known
She
fact.
hates kids.
Yeah, she's not
But
very
it's more for the
personable.
dragons.
That's true. They could have like a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a cake,
Yeah.
and the cake's lit by candles. Dragon fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the
And then you have like
candles,
sushi. She makes the dragons like cook the crispy rice. It's great.
Boom.
That'd be some.
What a
There you
hit.
go, guys.
Some crispy rice.
That's
right
the hot information here on
Maybe some
Collider
charcoal
TV
is what it'd
Talk.
be.
there. Right.
She killed a kid. Whoops a daisy. All right, guys, that'll be it here on a Tuesday and a Sassy Tuesday. Again, starting next Monday, we're back at 11 a.m. PST here on Collider Video. Before we get out of here, David Griffin, where can the good people find you on the internet while you're growling into the microphone?
Well, I'm not.
Congratulations, buddy.
Well, I'm not clearing my throat. I got to fly back to London tonight so I can watch tonight's episode of Dr. Foster. I can't wait to watch. But I'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Movie Talk. Yeah. And that's all I have.
Thanks, David.
Sorry, yeah.
Crushed it. Per usual.
Your outros are like my intros.
Yeah.
And I'm Grace Hancock. You can find me online everywhere in the whole world at Mrs. Graceface.
I'm Josh Macuga at Josh Macuga on Twitter and Instagram. The Josh Macuga Show on YouTube. Back tomorrow, 9 a.m. PST with Emma Fife doing some MMA. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey guys, you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.